Yeah, he telling these guys, y'all gonna be straight. Man, y'all don't gotta worry about nothing. Y'all gonna be alright. Y'all gonna be straight. He was using language like that, you know. And they said they believed that that was his way of.
The Chicago drills.
Lil Durk is in a whirlwind of trouble because if what is alleged is actually proved, he's got to be one of the dumbest people on earth. Or,
Oh, boy. Seti, I like Seti as far as his, his reactions. And is he getting paid to do this? I don't know. But however he's, breaking it down, I try to bring a reaction to this reaction to kind of like read between the lines of what they're going to be trying to do to Lil Durk. But Seti, he be on point because he do get the paperwork. At least he go off of that and not his own opinion. But let's jump into it real quick and I'll break it down.
the government is just being brazenly stupid to the point where they want to make sure everything that he said and he's done basically ruins it. The stuff that they allege in this freaking document is 6 pages. I just get to the meat and potatoes of it. It's like 3 minutes. I'm telling you now, bruh. It's BADDD. Take a listen. Stay to the whole video because even the next part, they responded. We don't read the whole entire 37 pages. I listen to y'all. Hey, it is what it is.
Well, you need to get that little code out of your eyes before you turn your camera on, man. God damn.
If you want full document reading, I think we'll put that on the Clips channel. I think that's the best way to do it. Other than that, man, I'd have held y'all too long. Let's go. Very good. And then versus Banks and all his homies. Government's second supplemental memorandum in opposition to defendant Dirk Banks' motion for a bill of particulars. Now, what we're going to scroll down to and get down to is basically, I want to say right here. All right, here. All right, so here, the detailed SS1, together with the government's substantial and organized discovery, obviates the need for a bill of particulars because they provide clear notice to defendants of the government's murder for hire theory. Geese, the government has alleged in its discovery clearly supports the straightforward theory that defendant Banks told co-conspirators he would reward anyone who helped kill his rival Taquain Bowman. That defendant Banks and the other OTF co-conspirators attempted to murder Bowman in Los Angeles on August 18, 2020, and that even though the co-conspirators killed SR, not Bowman, defendant Banks nevertheless rewarded co-conspirators by, among other things, featuring many of the direct participants in the murder in music videos and rap lyrics in the months following the murder. For example, the government anticipates that a cooperating witness will testify that defendant Banks made clear to the witness and other OTF members that someone who killed Bowman would be made straight, i.e. handsomely rewarded. The discovery also shows that defendant Banks used his trusted lieutenants, defendant Wilson and co-conspirator 5. So they know who the hell co-conspirator 5 is. They really can't tell me that they don't. To recruit hit.
Well, we know that Dirk and the rest of them know who every person is. See, we don't know because why? We don't know, how it all came together. But the ones that allegedly if they did put it together, then well, I told such and such this, that, and the other. And then when you see it in here, this is how you know who that is. So they know who's who and what's what. And what I do like about everybody is nobody sent any threats out. Because why? All the threats was all debunked. Came out to be a white kid in a basement in Ohio or Wyoming somewhere. And, just fucking around and not realizing that they're using this against Lil Durk and the co-defendants on bail and other shit like that. And trying to get this, this private jury, which, that's dangerous to me because when you start doing things like that, I already, even if you got a regular jury, I wouldn't not doubt if somebody on that jury team is a professional swayer, meaning they can get everybody to look at it the way they want you to look at it, meaning in the eyes of the feds. So, I don't be trusting jurors. Honestly, I don't. And that, was they putting secret people on the jury panel? Has it been done before? Yes. Yes. It's been done. And if you look at the P. Diddy trial, You know, it seems like we had a few of those drawers on that panel. So, we're gonna finish and we'll get right to it.
To fly to Southern California on August 18, 2022 to kill Bowman. Consistent with defendant Banks' promise to reward co-conspirators, defendant Wilson solicited Hitman by promising to pay $1 million, to pay a $1 million reward on behalf of defendant Banks in exchange for flying to Los Angeles to commit the murder. Moreover, the government has also disclosed a list of...
And see what I'm getting confused at when they talk about this $1 million reward. And then, truth teller, he say, a piece. So I'm gonna give you $1 million, give you $1 million, give you $1 million, give you $5 million. Not to say that King Von's life isn't worth that. I'm not even saying that. But I don't believe no $5 million payout to everybody. I don't believe that. And then on top of that, y'all didn't get the one I paid for. You see what I'm saying? So it's already Lil Durk, Drew Finland, everybody's doubting. But the same way you got snitches, the same way these snitches is going to be ripped apart. You can't just get up there and tell the jury, hey, yeah, Dirk told me he wanted him dead and blah, 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 and he was going to give me this. Okay, so you did it, right? You did it, and since you got caught, now you're trying to, what? Put it all on Dirk? Because you're going to look like a bum, and when you think you got all your T's and crossed and your I's dotted, remember, Drew Finland is a professional exposer. He's a professional gamer. He's a professional persuader. Like, he can persuade way better than these knuckleheads. These knuckleheads get pulled over and be scratching their head, looking all over for their license that they know they don't have, and you're just showing nervousness, as in my video yesterday, as you seen Asa, and let me clear that up. I said Boogie, but I should have just said Asa, but when the cops be like, why you so nervous? Like, you see what I'm saying? Like, y'all not ready for Drew and the team. They are going to open up y'all motherfuckers who think y'all gonna get up there and point the finger at the next man. No, what you gonna do is, you gonna get exposed and you're gonna have to take responsibility for your own actions. And that's what's going to happen here. Now we're gonna jump up a little bit. Check this out.
Music videos depicting defendants together with charged and uncharged co-conspirators without any indication of what those songs might be. We reserve the right to supplement this notice as necessary before trial, despite this being the government's third attempt at notifying the defense of intended 404B evidence. It still fails to meet the required notice obligations. The government's notice of non-committal, non-specific, and fails to apprise the court of the information necessary to even conduct a proper 403 analysis, despite this court and the defense repeatedly requesting the specifics. Even if it did satisfy the notice requirements, the rap lyrics and accompanying music videos are irrelevant, prejudicial, cumulative, misleading, and would cause significant delay in this trial. The purported evidence must be excluded. So y'all just gonna drop music videos in there. That's what that says. Y'all gonna see. The thing that should happen, right, is just pictures. Just pictures. Y'all can point to this and say, oh, it's a reward. But now y'all trying to bring the people into it. But I kind of can see, right, like, go back to the Young Thug trial, right? To the Young Thug YSL trial. If Lil Woody would have got arrested and they brought in, and let's say he was being charged with the murder of Donovan Thomas, even though he beat those charges, just want y'all to know that he beat those charges. If they would have dropped that Lil Woody pop at your noggin, bruh, we would have been sitting in that courtroom like, oh shit.
Pause. No, we wouldn't have. No, we wouldn't have been sitting there like, oh shit, because of that one little line from Young Thug. Like, that shit don't mean nothing. Like, what I mean by not meaning nothing is, it wouldn't have made a difference. Because Woody was mad that he could no longer hide from being a snitch. That's all that was about. He was mad. So what he did was say, you know what? I am not standing on this stand and going to repeat what I said to y'all in private. And this right here will make, and I don't know why, it didn't dawn on, like, the Vonnie telling, like, they're going to put you on a stand and you are going to be humiliated. Even if Dirk gets convicted, Drew Finland and the rest of the Dream Team, yeah, the Dream Team, they are going to rip you the fuck apart and make you feel as littler than Benjamin Button himself. They are going to expose you, how weak you are as a man. They are going to, Drew Finland and them, I hear, is like going to take their manhood. The snitches on Dirk case, Drew and them is going to attack their manhood to show how much they got pussy in between their legs and not a Dilsnick. Straight up. That's how it's going down, y'all. And it's going to be, I want to say funny, but again, even if Dirk get convicted, he's going to be satisfied with the exposure on why he got convicted. Because you got a man who claims to be all of that, and come to find out he's a little bitch. And that's how Drew is going to open up with these rats, snitches, whatever you want to call them. These lady men, whatever, they getting exposed, and Drew is going to humiliate them. Vonnie is going to wish he stood on all fucking 10. He's going to wish he did. And you see his own daddy, you see what they are. His daddy would have took money and kept his mouth closed. But even though he didn't keep his mouth closed, he still ain't getting no money. Now you see what I'm saying? And now he's looking like the what? The butt of everybody fucking jokes. Because now you're looking like a straight nut-ass ninja. Because why? You telling on your son. You telling on little Dirk. Man, you just a nut-ass nigga. And what makes it worse is how was you King Von's dad, best friend, at one point? And what happened to him happened to his son. That is, I find that odd, that you had snipers hitting King Von up. And that's the same thing that happened to his dad. With the same guy. Y'all better pay attention.
So I think that's what the government is trying to, that's my clear belief. But Drew's right on the sense of, bruh, y'all need to say exactly what lyrics. Because y'all just talking about the whole entire song. So we about to sit here, and Boosie had talked about this before. We about to spend a whole damn day listening to songs and then deciphering this shit.
I don't even know how they get a chance to use this, because if I was a lawyer, I would say, so, when we watch a TV show, and they may be drug dealers, and selling drugs, committing murders, but somehow we put this into their real life, and nobody does that. So that's how that's going to be debunked. I'm not saying it just the exact way that I'm saying it's going to happen, but, I mean, it can't go no other way. But do y'all look at y'all favorite actor as really being the one that y'all watched in this script, and then he was, you know, gay in this script, and now he's straight in this script? Like, no, you know that was just a script. That's like when we see all these men in dresses, we don't look at them as no, you know, bisexual or whatever you want to call it, because of the fact that this was acting. Now, if you're doing this while not acting, putting on dresses, Young Thug, but, you know, it's another story, then you'll be more believable. But you can't tell me about a person's rap songs and put it to their real life. The same way you don't do an actor, whatever he acted in, because he was a drug dealer, he was a pimp. You know what I mean? You can't implement that in their real life.
Yeah, I don't see how the judge really lets a lot of this shit in. But wait.
Well, I know how they let it in because they are part of the problem. Yes, the problem. Because you're not just going up against a district attorney. You're going up against the judge also. Because why? We're holding Dirk Banks because of he said this and this right here, and he said this right here, and then we come to find out that this shit was made way prior to the situation. So now can I get bail? Oh no. See, that's not fair. That's not fair, and not even the lawyers press the issue on how not fair that is. And that scares me also. Why? Because these lawyers know exactly who to contact in situations like this and bring awareness to certain situations, and they don't. So that's why it keeps going on. It's like, nigga, yeah, you're a lawyer, but if you expose us, where you gonna work at? It's kind of like some sort of shit like that. You know what I mean? So everybody is playing this fucking game. And you gotta be heartless, whether you're a lawyer, judge, DA. You have to be cut a certain way to even say things about people that has not proven to be true, just to try to get them life in prison. You have to be cut a different way. You really gotta be a fucked up individual, to be honest.
Shall see. Let's finish with this last one. This really gets good. Rejecting inextricably intertwined theory where government nowhere asserts that it would be difficult to establish its case without other acts. And then we're not going to keep on reading this United States shit, but no. The finding evidence is not inextricably intertwined with the charged conduct because the government does not assert that it could not establish its case against the defendant as to the charged conduct without reference to this evidence. One, inextricably intertwined with charged bank fraud because it.
And I'm sorry for pausing it again, but let me tell y'all something, y'all. They really don't have no fucking evidence against Lil Durk. When I mean evidence, it's concrete. They don't have that. They just have a bunch of pieces that they put together on their own, and with this one ratting, saying, yeah, all that is true. So that's why they're pushing hard, because if not, if he would have kept his mouth closed, everybody would have walked. Everybody.
Can relate to any number of criminal schemes unrelated to those charges. And I'm talking about United States versus Brooks. So I might have to read some of this shit so y'all know what we're talking about. The government cannot satisfy either of the two.
Vonnie thought that since he purchased this and purchased that he would be the only one really in trouble. So you know how bitch niggas is. I don't want to be in trouble by myself, so I'm getting you in trouble too. That's all this is. And that's why Drew is going to put foot in Vonnie's ass. And it's going to be funny. Can't wait. Because that's what is going to bring sunshine to Dirk Oz and ears when we have to hear how much of a bitch nigga Vonnie is.
No categories of inextricably intertwined evidence. The music evidence is not part of the charged transaction, and it is not necessary for the government to tell a coherent story. At the outset, the government cannot rely on the same criminal transaction theory because they failed to identify when any lyrics were written or when the songs were produced. Although the government identifies the premiere dates of multiple music videos, the music video's premiere date or song release does not establish when the content was.
Because sometimes songs be way ahead of their time. I can make some shit January, and it might not get released until, November of that year. You see what I'm saying? So when you hear it on some shit that happened maybe in October, oh man, he talking about that. No, you dumb motherfucker, I've been made this shit in January. Ha ha.
Was created. A song could be in development for years before its release. Without the basic information, the court cannot determine whether the music evidence is temporarily connected to the charged conspiracy or too temporarily to distant qualify.
Back to professional persuaders. That means that, yeah, we're not going to say that the lyrics, we're not just going off of lyrics, but we want y'all to hear this. And then once we add this part, because we know it's going to get debunked, but when we add this, that, and the other, you can't erase it from out of people's brains. So what you're doing is you're trying to paint a picture to a juror just so you can get a conviction. And what people do, they pay attention to what's in front of them, even though it's false. You know, sort of like the AI situation going on as we speak.
I mean, let me reread that, bro, because y'all not seeing this, but when I'm recording this shit, there's numbers, so let me get this shot here. Okay. It's temporarily connected to the charged conspiracy or too temporarily distant to qualify as part of the same transaction, even if the lyrics were created close in time to the alleged conduct. Coincidence in time is sufficient. The government must show a substantive.
Wait. You mean to tell me coincidence is sufficient? Wow.
Substantive. I'm crying. A substantive or contextual connection between each specific lyric and the charged offense. It is not.
You gotta step your reading up too, Seti. You gotta start reading this stuff and practicing before you turn your camera on, buddy. Just some words of advice.
Done so. The supplemental notice groups the music evidence into broad categories of admissions, but does not explain how any particular lyric goes directly to an element of the underlying charges. On the current record, the music evidence could be related to any number.
See how he skipped over this right here? The Niculin. So he skipped over that because he has a problem with his words. Like he has a 5th grade education. And no disrespect, Seti.
Unrelated stories, narratives, or creative themes. The government has not shown that the music evidence is necessary to tell a coherent story of the charged conspiracy. The government does not assert that it would be unable to present its case without lyrics or videos, merely that the evidence allows the government to present a complete story to the jury.
We're going to stop this right here, because, you know what I mean, Seti, you got to get it together. But, we see where you're going at with this, and like I said, I'm going to keep y'all updated, you know what I mean? And I'll do reactions to the reactions because we have to read between the lines, y'all. The Chicago Drills, and we about this. Biatch. Subscribe to the channel, y'all. I got the channel back up and running and rolling. Come on now, let's do it. Subscribe to the channel, it's free. Do it for me. Show love. I show love back. I get back to every comment. Yes, I do. I read them all, good or bad. My thickest skin. My skin is thick. Fucked up too. But I'm all off the top, you know what I'm saying? So we gonna get up out of here. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Peace and blessings to all. We out. Peace.